One of the things that I like to tell people, and they don't want to hear it, but in terms of high performers, when people do it, they get the result across the board, is not touching your phone the first hour of the day. We do it not out of need all the time, we do it out of habit. People are learning and developing muscles of distraction. They're training themselves, especially with technology, to be distracted all the time. And they're saying the human attention span is just going down and down and down because we have these smart devices, and every like, share, comment, cat video, whatever, is training us to be more and more like looking for the next novel thing. Every time you get a dopamine fix, it's along the nervous system, like of where your motivation centers are, your learning centers. So it's training you to be addicted and to distraction. If you're picking up the phone the first thing in the morning, the challenge is a number of reasons this is a challenge. First of all, there are these 4 primary brainwave states. Beta is what you and I are in right now, we're awake. Delta is when you're fast asleep. In between those 2 states, theta and alpha, are extremely important brainwave states for learning. So theta is the state right in and out of sleep. Theta is the state that we call creativity. When you are your most creative, usually it's coming because you're in this theta state. And you know this, when you're in and out of sleep, or you're close to you're so deep, your mind goes and you come up with ideas. Above theta though, is the state called alpha, right below beta where you're most aware and awake. Alpha is a state of learning, accelerated learning. It's a state of relaxed awareness. This is a state we go into when we meditate, because your critical mind is set aside and you just absorb information unconsciously. You know what puts you into an alpha state? Television. You ever notice that if somebody's watching the game or somebody's watching their favorite TV show and you're trying to have a conversation with them and they literally are in trance, they don't hear you because of the television programming, which might be an interesting word, programming and putting people into a trance, but that's the alpha state. That's where information is just going inside your mind. Knowing you're in this alpha theta state first thing in the morning, you're very suggestible, right? And if the first thing you're picking up is your phone, then that really is rewiring our brain for 2 things. The dangers. That's gonna really decrease your level of productivity and performance. Number 1, it's training you to be distracted. And we talked about that. Every like, share, comment, everything is just making you just pay attention to everything else and rewiring your brain. So when you're having a conversation with somebody, you can't even focus because you've trained your brain to do otherwise. The first thing, don't touch your phone because it's training you to be distracted. The second thing it's training you for, which is almost worse, is it's training you, rewiring your brain to be reactive. Reactive, meaning that you're in this relaxed state of awareness when you first wake up. You pick up your phone, you get 1 text with bad news, or 1 voicemail, or 1 email, and you know this has all happened to us. You're in a bad mood for the rest of your day because you're so impressionable. You're in that hypnotic state, and it affects you. And you can never have a quality life, with that, and be the best version of ourselves, be an elite mental performer or high performer when you're responding and reacting to everybody else. I did a whole episode on my morning routine, like 10 things I do every morning to jumpstart my brain. And I also have an evening 1-hour routine to get into sleep, to maximize my sleep. Sleep is so very important to be able to do. But one of the processes I do, besides blackout curtains and cold and temperatures and breath and stuff, meditation, is I don't touch a screen, right? Because it creates blue light. And most people should know this. The screen on your laptop, your phone, everything else emits this blue light, which inhibits the melatonin production, which helps you to relax and go to sleep. So no screens. And people don't realize this, and this is the whole thing. I really think this should have been taught back in school, because school was a great place to learn what to learn. Math, history, science, Spanish, important subjects on what to learn. But how many classes were on how to learn?
Does that even exist these days?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, how many classes were on how to think critically, how to make good decisions, how to solve problems, how to focus and concentrate, how to read faster,